Good evening, you guys. It's me. I'm back. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day today. I hope that you guys are using or taking the most of the day and really being sure to use the positive energy and everything that you have at your disposal to control what you can and put into the earth and the universe what you want to get out of it. So I hope that you guys are having a productive Wednesday. It has been a very long day for me today, so I'm going to do a quick 30 minutes with you guys on fighting fair. I like to generally talk about things that are fresh on my mind and speaking to me today. And I think that's one of the most powerful tools in relationships, and not just intimate relationships, relationships with loved ones, family members, kids, etc. That there are rules to fighting. You're going to argue, you're going to disagree. Those things will happen because we're people. However, there's a way to do it. There is a way to do it that you don't demean others, that you don't continue to violate them, that you don't dishonor their needs or their self-expression, that you respect their feelings, and that you honor their being. So we're going to talk through a couple of ways that you can fight fair and be reasonable in your approach to fighting with someone that you love. Because that matters, and you want to make sure that you are constantly growing and challenging yourself to respect that individual, even when the disagreements become intense in nature and more challenging, finding ways to navigate around that. So let's get into it. So one of the ways that fighting fair makes sense, and I say makes sense, Sade, come on. One of the ways that you can fight fair is by, and Dr. Ish said a really great way or analogy was one band, one sound. Stick to the conversation at hand. Don't talk about what happened 7 years ago, last week, 17 days ago, on my birthday, when I was in the bathtub 3 weeks ago. Stick to one conversation. If you are addressing your partner or your partner is addressing you about something, be clear about the conversation you're having and stick to that message. If that requires you to listen, which it will, listen, be clear about the message they're trying to give you, and validate their expression. You don't have, that does not say that you agree. That does not say that you accept, what they're trying to give you. The idea is that you're validating their message, the fact that they're expressing themselves, and being vulnerable with you. And the other part is listening, practicing the skill to listen. Listening can change an entire conversation. So making sure that you practice reflective listening. One of the things that I like to encourage is, when someone shares something with you, especially when it's in a very tense environment or a very intense conversation, allow yourself to paraphrase what you heard. So what I heard you say was, so this is what I took away, just kind of reiterating what you heard. So if it is incorrect, if it's not the message that the person intended to share with you, that they can correct it right then, and you don't walk away, feeling disrespected or invalidated or not taking away what they intended to share with you, right? So that's one of the rules. Another rule is, and you guys have all heard it, do not hit below the belt. Let's be very clear. As people, whether we are intuitive or we pay attention to things or we listen or we've learned over time about individuals, we know triggers, right? Let's be very clear. We are very aware. If you are unaware, that is a whole nother problem for a whole nother conversation. But being aware of other individuals, being aware of yourself, poking the bear, triggering folks, sparking the flame, or throwing gasoline in it, that's not a way of fair fighting. Now, if the conversation's around, well, what if, the person I'm saying is doing that? What if they are trying to trigger me? You aren't responsible for them. You're only responsible for yourself. You cannot control how someone else is responding to you. You can only control how you are responding to them. That does not excuse you from personal responsibility or accountability in the conversation. Let's be clear. Just because someone is throwing charcoal gas in the flame, they gassing it or whatever, that does not excuse you from being disrespectful or hurtful or harmful on purpose. Okay, pushing the buttons or the triggers to gain a response, or pushing the button or the triggers to prove your point. That's I mean, where are you going to get with that? The question is it yielding the results you're looking for? If their answer is no, it's not working. All right. So we talked about making sure that you're listening, right? You're validating the message. One band, one sound, one message at a time. And the other is not gassing. Don't gaslight. That's very manipulative and passive aggressive. Gaslighting. Nope and nope. Okay. So another tip would be body language. I did all that to express body language. When you're sitting in a conversation and you're like, what do you think the other person is taking away? And then what we like to do, and I'm going to say we like to want the other person to excuse it and hear the message, and just know that we're sitting there listening. No, bae. That ain't gonna fly. Nope. Because your body language is expressing a message, right? The grunts, the moans, that's expressing a message. You may not like that the person takes away from what you're sharing, but then why do it? Then what is the intention in doing? What is the purpose? To express some energy, to get off those jujubes or whatever that you feel just listening, if it's cringeworthy for you. So then maybe it's not healthy to participate in the conversation at that moment. Maybe it's not a healthy space, and at some point it would be helpful for you to learn how to participate in uncomfortable and frustrating conversations without communicating that you are uninterested. Just, have you guys ever been in conversations where people are like, yeah, I'm listening, or yeah, I'm here with you. I want to listen. I want to participate. But when you're talking, I'm on my phone. I'm looking down. I'm falling asleep. What message does that send to you? Does it appear to be that this person is interested in what you're saying? I'm just wondering, because that doesn't send that message to me. It appears that you're uninterested. So I'm uninterested in sharing when you're uninterested in listening. Okay? That can be hurtful, that can be disrespectful, that can violate the understanding, agreement, commitment, trust that you have with one another. It's not okay. Okay? So we went through 3. Y'all want to keep going? Or we want to keep going? Are we in it to win it? I was trying to do quick fast, but let's be in it to win it. All right. Because we got a couple of folks in here. Let's keep going. So the other part to this is, how do you disarm when you're in a conversation with someone or having a conversation about something that is very uncomfortable, controversial, conflictual, confrontational? How do you disarm yourself from being in this conversation for which you feel violated? So a couple of things with this. One, it depends on the person. It depends on your level of safety. It depends on a couple of things. But let's just throw something out there. Let's say you're having a conversation with, let's say your mom. Moms are triggers for folks or whatever. So let's say you're having this very controversial, confrontational conversation with your mother. And mom has, made up in their mind, like moms, do. They know their kids, I'll specifically speak for my beautiful Black mother. They know their children. They have a perspective about that. They want to tell you about you and what you should be doing with your life, or your situation, give you some unrequested advice, and this could be anybody, but I'm using mom for an example, right? So you're sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm taking it. And it just feels like they're doing this. Like, I'm taking it. So look here, like, whoa. Like, so this can end up in several different ways. You disconnect, you're not listening anyway. You blow up, right? In whatever way that you blow up, you have an unproductive conversation because now you're attempting to defend yourself. How does this work out for you? So a few tips for this. 1, find your safe space. Find a way to engage in conversations without making them internalizing them or making them personal. So just because someone has a perspective about you or feelings about you or what they think you should and shouldn't do not let that deter the intention of the conversation. What is the intention of the conversation? What is the basis of us having this engagement right now, right? First question. Second question, I want to engage in this conversation, so I'm going to do it, right? And it's going to be on my terms. With that said, after your mom we're using mom for an example. After mom has her spiel and all of this, you can respectfully express, 1, if you didn't want unsolicited advice. Let's just start there. Like, thank you. So let's say I'm going to role play this out, right? Hey, mom, I really appreciate you being so thoughtful enough to consider my feelings, my needs, what I have going on. However, at this time, like, I really wanted to figure this out on my own, and I was just kind of wanting to share with you. And I should have said that at the beginning of this conversation. I feel violated as an adult when you provide unsolicited advice and or you make judgments on my lifestyle that I did not ask for. So, and that kind of detaches me from wanting to share with you. Would y'all use those words? Probably not. But I want to just give you those quick tips, and I'll come back and we'll do some more fair fighting talk. But I hope that helps. And the idea is to disarm and encourage effective communication. That's the idea. Disarm and allow yourself to have an effective conversation with the person that you're intending to. I mean, a lot of that starts with us and how we handle conversations. So thank y'all, and I'll see y'all. Peace.